I'm Benson Fector, running for Congress here in PA 12. As some of you know, going back to the 2024 election, Summer Lee defeated a guy by the name of James Hayes, who is also running in this year's election against me in the primary. Now, I've had an opportunity to sit down with James, and we've had many good conversations. We share a whole lot of the same values, but ultimately, this election, this race, is about beating Summer Lee in November. And so I want to share a little bit about James Hayes and a little bit about his campaign and why there are some things that we can look back at and say, hey, this is kind of disqualifying if we're going to try to beat Summer Lee in November. So we'll go back to 2024. And if there was a year to flip PA 12, 2024 was the year to do it. It was the largest conservative wave in decades, where we saw Donald Trump take the White House and the Republicans take the House and the Senate. Now, James Hayes lost by about 13 points in 2024 by about 50,000 votes. Now, if we look at some of the numbers here, every 2 years, there are 870 elections, right? 435 House seats. Out of those 870 elections that happen every 2 years, James Hayes came in 867 out of 870, raising $130,000 to Summer Lee's $2.9 million. That's a 21-to-1 difference. We're going to have no hope in this coming year's race if it is that big of a gap. Second thing, James Hayes does not use social media. Look him up yourself right now. Try to find him on Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, etc. He's sort of there, and when you do go on his profiles, no posts within the last several months. He does not engage on social media. And in a season like we're in right now, and in 2026, if you're a politician claiming that you want to support and be representative of your people, if you're not on social media, that is disqualifying in and of itself. And certainly when we know as Republicans, right, we're gonna have to raise a whole lot of money to beat Summer Lee. And even if we do raise the money, which I will, I know Summer Lee is going to raise more than I will. And so we have to take that dollar and stretch it a little bit further. Social media is the platform to do that. James Hayes refuses to use it. James has also commented that he was upset that Summer Lee refused to debate him in 2024. I'd be upset too, but the reality is Summer Lee did not view James Hayes as a threat. We as Republicans remember the 2024 presidential primary when President Trump said, hey, you guys can have your primary, but I'm not going to participate in these debates, because he viewed the primary as irrelevant and he knew he had nothing to gain. Summer Lee said the same thing in 2024. She said, this is cute. I have a guy that I've fundraised and out-fundraised 21-to-1. Don't care about him. I'm an incumbent. I'm going to win, and there's nothing for me to gain by debating him. Finally, when we look at Summer Lee, in 2024, not only did she decide not to debate James Hayes, she didn't say his name a single time. Look at her social media. Look at her campaign website. Look at her materials. Look in the media. Not a single time did Summer Lee say the name James Hayes. It is our job to bring her to the table, and James Hayes is not the candidate to do that. Finally, and some people might say, okay, this was James's first time running. Granted, it was. How is he doing so far, right, in this current campaign? Well, Q4 of 2024, I outraised James Hayes by a total of 4-to-1. Simply put, he is not taking this race seriously. He is not the serious candidate to beat Summer Lee, does not have the willpower or the organizational skills or the ability to go out and raise the money, raise the support, raise the volunteers to actually beat Summer Lee. I wish James all the best, and I certainly hope that we will remain friends after this primary race here. But we have a shared goal, and that shared goal is to beat Summer Lee, and we know that he is not the man to do it, and I certainly hope you'll throw your support behind me.